Hello everyone, this is a tutorial for Blood Roses by Tori Amos. I'm going to look for, not a harpsichord, but a clavinet, because I can't find the harpsichords on it. It's really weird. I don't even know if they're on this keyboard. It really is. It's like you have to do so many crazy things just to find the harpsichord, and I'm not an audio technician or any of that. Anyway, there we go. That sounds about right. There was a tutorial for this song on this channel many years ago, although it has vanished into oblivion and cannot be located. But I had some requests like, where's your tutorial for Blood Roses? It's like, I don't know. So I decided I would make a new one. So here we go. And that is my cat down there. He's doing some scratching. Alright, so for Blood Roses, we are in G sharp minor. So our scale is going to be G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F, and G sharp. Oh, so good. And the main chords are going to be G sharp minor. I'm going to play the 5th, and then B major, and then F sharp major, and then C sharp minor. And it's in 3/4 time signature, so there's 3 beats per measure. Like a waltz, although I don't know if you would really want to waltz to Blood Roses at a wedding or something like that. Alright, so here's the riff. Alright, maybe I'll put it down an octave. Alright, so let's start with that. It is a G minor chord up like this. G sharp, G sharp, B, D sharp, G sharp. Then you have an A sharp to B, down an octave to B. That's really quick. And you can also probably play the B before the A sharp if you want to vary it. So that's what you do here. B, F sharp, B, F sharp. Then you go down the B chord, which is F sharp, D sharp, and B. And then we move into F sharp major with C sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F sharp. Then C sharp, D sharp, E. G sharp, and D sharp. So again. Another variation you can do is you can go down to the A sharp here, or you can play around with it. You have some leeway to do that. So let's see with the chord. Alright, so that is the main, the riff, if you will. And now we get to the first verse. D sharp, Blood Roses, down to G sharp, B, at its most simple, 2 A sharps, A sharp, A sharp, G sharp, C sharp. Although her vocals are more like back on. dynamism in her vocals. All right. Decorate that a little bit. There's some freedom there, but as its core, can't forget the things you said on days like these. First verse, then we get to the chickens. So that's F sharp, chickens, B B. That's get a B, A sharp, get a taste of your that would be you, D sharp, gave him your blood, G sharp to B, if you don't like playing it too quickly there, you know that some people don't like to have their fingers go like that. Just keeping on the A sharp would work there though. Would work there in that case. D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. So the chords, of course, still G sharp minor, B major, F sharp major, C sharp minor. And for the word I or you, like you think I'm a queer, I think you're a queer, the first syllable in that would probably just be a chord tone, like you can play D sharp, or you can play G sharp, or you can do them all differently to give it, you know, some dynamism. It's just like the chickens part. To the God knows and the graces. So it's going to be the same type of chord progression, but it's going to be transposed up 1/2 step. So instead of G sharp, it's going to be A minor, C, G, and then D. And when you get here, instead of 3 beats, it's going to vary. There's going to be like 6 beats and then 9 beats, because she's going to be like, you know, gray, yay, 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 sizz. So we got the chords there: A minor, C major, G, and then D. You can play them in inversion if you want to, like. And with the D, you can alternate between D major and D minor there. So the gods are going to be on A, then to G, down to F, and back up to A. Oops, sorry. Different that time. A down to E. And now the Bell of New Orleans. So it's going to be A minor. It could be A minor 9, which would be adding the B. And then C major, and it can be C major, just stated like this, C, E, G, C major, or it can be in second inversion. If you have it in second inversion, that just means that there's a G in the bass, and then when you move to the next chord, which is a G, you can have the same note in the bass. So that would be like this. And when you get to the D, most of the time it's major, but I think there are little variations here and there where you add the F sharp, or you play minor and then do it, which is F sharp up to G and A, because as a pianist, like Tori, when you're playing as densely as she is, and your fingers are going up and down. The exact like harmonic analysis isn't going to be precise or relevant. She will add a note here and there just to give a little bit of color, and that's how the F, which is in the D minor chord, occasionally will be an F sharp. We'll get back to the other section. So here's the melody for the Bell of New Orleans. The Bell of New Orleans tried to show me once how to tango. If you play like the F there, it'll just give it a little bit of dirt. That's something Tori just knows instinctively. Like if she wants like a little bit of dirt, she'll add that dissonant note. So those things are not entirely off limits. Although it is D major there. But, you know, being the master that she is, if for a split second Tori just wants a little bit of dirt, she can add an F natural in this chord in place of where F sharp would normally be. Then C as a chord. Then it transitions back to G sharp. And it essentially repeats, except there's that come on thing, and I'll let you all figure out how you want to represent that. I don't know how exactly you would represent that on the piano, so that's a chance to get creative. Probably at its simplest, either D natural or C sharp going up to D sharp. Something like that. So I will go through the melody in the end, starting with Alright, so chords, of course, we're doing G sharp minor, B major, F sharp major, C sharp minor. So it's just this. D sharp, F sharp, and D sharp. Then E. Then G sharp. D natural to D sharp. You cut out the flute. something I'm going to share that will help you understand how the song can be accompanied in your left hand. G sharp, B, A sharp, down to B, D sharp and E up to F sharp, and then A sharp, B up to C sharp. That's how she moves between the chords on the harpsichord, generally speaking. And when you're in the A minor sections, it would just be transposed up 1/2 step. So and another thing that I would point out is that though the chords are G sharp minor, E major, F sharp major, and C minor, there are variations and substitutions and colorings you can use with each one. For instance, with the G sharp, you can make it G sharp 9, which would be G sharp, B, D sharp, and A sharp. So this note is not off limits when you're trying to do a piano part. In fact, it's in the harpsichord, in the album version. So this being like a G sharp 9 is kind of implied. When you get to the B, this note, the C sharp, also not off limits. When you get to the F sharp, the E is also something you can play that makes it an F sharp 7 chord. And when you get to the C sharp minor, you can add D sharp, which is the 9th, and that's in the harpsichord in the album version. You can also add A sharp, which makes it a variation of what they would call A sharp half diminished or A sharp diminished. That would be a chord substitution for C sharp minor here. And by half diminished, don't be intimidated by that term. It just means A sharp diminished, which is A sharp, C sharp, and E. And if it were fully diminished, you would add G natural, fully diminished 7, but because it's only half diminished, the G is not lowered, it's G sharp. And there are going to be 4 different conjugations of that chord. They're root position and 3 inversions. First inversion, second inversion, third inversion. And because as a pianist, Tori's hands are, all over the place and she knows where everything is all at once, it's okay if you represent all of those notes in inversion once, or in a different inversion, or you play the half diminished and you add the 9th. So things like that, like changing it from C sharp minor to C sharp minor with a 9, or A sharp half diminished, or even just A sharp diminished, and inverting that is something you can do that. So basically, if you want to get more expressive with this song, things like that are not off limits. Something that would be off limits there would be like a G major chord, and maybe the note A would not really work there at all. Yeah, so there are rules for what you can do and what you can't do, and what I'm saying here is that the half diminished A sharp chord is totally fine there. Another thing I would point out is that when you get to this section, one thing you can do that would be legit is every now and then you can add E sharp in the bass, and what that will do is make it really, really dirty sounding, because it will create a dissonance between the E up here. Let's see. So at certain points you can there, you hear how that's like, it's a little dirtier. It's not the prettiest chord, but you can use that once in a while, because that really brings out what's going on in the song. It's not a pretty song. It's about someone being discarded to the point that they're no longer a human being. They're a corpse, and the chickens might as well feast on them. So that, you know, there is a lot of darkness. So that's entirely appropriate in this song if you want to give it some real darkness and ugliness. That is legit ugliness. By contrast, playing an A there, or like I said, a random G chord in that section, not appropriate. But that E sharp is something that you can do to give it some dirtiness that would be well within the confines of what you can do with this song. So I think I covered everything we wanted to cover. This video might be very long, but you know, it's a tutorial, and maybe you want to learn how to play the melody very simply. So it's probably best for me to just say everything, and I know that I'm a little tired and maybe I misspoke at a few points, but you know, hopefully you're able to learn something, and you know, thank you for dropping by this channel. I really appreciate it. You guys have been wonderful. So I will wish you all a good night, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. Thanks. Bye-bye.